Hey guys, let's talk about some recorder technique. Now the first thing you want to make sure you're doing when you're playing recorder is sitting or standing up straight. Next, use your left hand on top. Now in the video it's going to look like the opposite, but make sure you're using your left hand on top. Okay, for me that would look like this. Alright, for now we can just rest the recorder on our chin as we talk about technique. You want to have a nice angle on your recorder, like this. Not too high, not too low. It's about a 45-degree angle. Now your other hand, what do you do with that? Well, give me a thumbs up. Good. And take your thumb and put it around the middle of your recorder, right about there. And this is just like a little place for it to rest. It's like a little stand. Then take your other fingers and have them be like little birdies over top. They're flying above and ready to be used if we should ever need them. As you play, you don't want to have squeaks. Now, squeaks happen for one of two reasons. Either number one, you're blowing too hard, or two, you're not covering the holes completely. So let's look at both of those things. First, blowing too hard. Imagine with me for just a second that you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. That is going to be way too hard of breath for playing recorder, okay? It'll give you a squeak every time. Instead, I want you to imagine that you have a window, okay? And that you're gonna fog up the window using slow, warm air. You shouldn't even hear it, it should be silent. That's the kind of air you want to use when playing the recorder. Now the second reason you make squeak is because you're not covering up the holes completely. So here's how you fix that. First, don't use the very tips of your fingers. Notice how little streams of air can escape through those little holes. Instead, use the fingerprint part of your finger. This part right here, not the tip. Use this part right here, and that will make sure you cover up those holes completely. Now, as you're playing, you want to be holding tight enough that you get little circles on your fingers. Those little circles mean that you're covering them up completely, and that's what you want. Don't worry, they'll go away, all right? So, as you're playing, you're remembering to have your left hand on top to sit up straight. You're going to make sure to use nice, warm, slow air, and you're going to cover up those holes completely. The last part of technique I want to talk to you about today is called tonguing. Now, tonguing is when you use the tip of your tongue to start and stop the notes. Imagine that as you're playing, you're thinking the word to. And by doing that, you're going to notice that the tongue is going to lightly rest on the tip of the recorder, the mouthpiece. And every time you say to, your tongue is going to come off the recorder just enough to let some air through. Then, the tongue goes back on the tip of the recorder. This will help you start and stop the notes, and it will make for a better sound. Good luck as you play recorder.